Okay, so we all hear about AI constantly, right? But for a minute, let's just push aside all of the tech talk, because what we're really going to dive into today is how AI is, well, it's breaking out. It's becoming one of the most powerful forces shaping global politics. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. AI as the new oil. This changes everything. We're not just talking about cool new gadgets anymore. We're talking about a critical, maybe even finite resource. And you know what happens with resources like that, right? Nations start competing for it fiercely. Because the belief is whoever controls AI, well, they're going to be the ones calling the shots. And look, this isn't some friendly competition. Not at all. This is a high-stakes race, and it's literally redrawing the map of global power. We're seeing new alliances, new rivalries, and a whole new playbook for how the world works in the 21st century. All right, so let's start with this. When we say AI is the new oil, we're not talking about your chatbot or the AI in your phone. Yeah, you've got to understand. AI has graduated, big time. It's moved way beyond being just a consumer product. It's now a full-blown, state-level asset. It's a tool that governments are using right now to get a strategic leg up on everyone else. We're talking economically, militarily, the whole nine yards. So all this focus on getting an edge, well, it's kicked off what a lot of people are calling a new kind of arms race. But what does an arms race even look like when the weapons aren't just bombs and missiles? Well, for starters, it looks like money. And I mean huge money. We're talking billions and billions of dollars being poured into AI R&D by the major world powers. This isn't just a side project. This is a dead serious sprint to the finish line. And what's really fascinating here is how the big players are going about this. You've got the US kind of leaning on its huge tech companies and its military might. Then you have China taking a totally different route, a state-controlled approach, where AI is built right into things like mass surveillance and their social credit system. It's two superpowers with two completely different game plans for getting to the top. And here's the kicker. Unlike an old-school weapon, a lot of AI's power is that it's almost invisible. It's being woven into the very fabric of how a country operates. Think about it. It's used for cybersecurity, for guiding drones, even for predicting economic shifts so they can stay one step ahead of the competition. But, this whole race isn't just about who has the most power or the most money. It's pushing us, as a society, to face some really big and pretty uncomfortable ethical questions. Like this one, and this isn't science fiction anymore. This is a real debate happening right now. Should a machine, an algorithm, be allowed to make the decision to kill? Are we actually ready to take the human out of that loop entirely? And this is where it gets really tricky. On one hand, people who support this say, hey, these systems could be incredibly precise, maybe even reducing civilian casualties. But the other side of that coin is pretty stark. It's a future where we've basically outsourced the accountability for life and death to a piece of code. And these ethical minefields, they're not just on the battlefield. There's this massive issue of bias. Because at the end of the day, an AI is only as smart or as fair as the data we feed it. And the consequences here are huge, and they're happening now. If the data we give an AI reflects our own historical biases, well, the AI doesn't just learn them, it can amplify them. Suddenly you have systems that might deny someone a loan, or throw out their job application, or even target them for police surveillance, all because of biased data from years ago. So you can see the stakes are incredibly high, right? Strategically, ethically. So what's the world going to do? Are countries going to team up to figure this out? Or is it going to be every nation for itself? Well, if we're being honest, right now, cooperation is not winning. The mood out there is all about competition, especially when you look at the major global powers. So here's kind of how the world is shaping up. You've got three main poles of power. The US is flexing its muscles with its tech giants and military. China is all in on state-funded development. And then you have the EU, which is trying to be the world's referee, focusing on rules and ethics. The only problem is, in a power struggle like this, making the rules doesn't always pack the same punch as having the tech and the money. So what does this all mean? It means you can probably forget about some big global agreement on AI, like we tried to do with nukes. What's way more likely is a splintered world, where each major power has its own set of rules for the digital age. And all of this, it leads us to the final and maybe the most important part of this whole story. Because where we go from here, it could lead us down two completely different futures. On one path, there's the optimistic future, right? The utopia. It's a world where we use AI together responsibly to tackle our biggest problems. Imagine using it to help solve climate change, to cure diseases, to fight poverty. It's a pretty incredible vision. But then there's the other path, the much darker one. This is the future where AI becomes a weapon, where it's used to create deepfakes and spread chaos, to launch crippling cyber attacks, and to give authoritarian governments a level of control over people that we've never seen before. So, at the end of the day, here's what we're left with. The technology itself isn't good or bad. It's a tool. And the choice of whether that tool is used to build a better world or to control it, well, that choice is entirely up to us. The question isn't, what will AI do? The real question is, what will we do?